And what's going on, you bastards? And welcome back to a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. But today is a little bit different than actually some gameplay and stuff. This is more about some exciting news that came out for the part 2 of the new global download celebration, right? This used to be like worldwide download celebration when global and JP were separate. Now that we shared an anniversary back in January, this was like the global anniversary would have already happened, but a celebration that came after the anniversary is the worldwide download celebration. So this is a new celebration, right? So part 1, we had Fusion Zamasu, not really though. We had a Rose Goku Black and a Zamasu with active skills that you could turn into Fuse Zamasu for that active skill. So once the active skill is done, it's gone. Like, you cannot play as Zamasu, Fusion Zamasu anymore. For the Blue Goku and Vegeta, you know, the tag exchange unit, whatever, the Rose Zamasu are a tag unit as well. You have an active skill where you can be a Blue Vegito for a turn, or do the Father-Son Gallic Gun if you're Vegeta, right? So that was part 1 of the celebration. Banger units. Unfortunately, the Fusion active skills were only for the turn, right? So if you follow along with Dokkan or play Dokkan, 10th anniversary, you could be Super Vegito and Super Gogeta for multiple turns, right? But they weren't permanent fusions either, but you could play as that character for a couple turns, right? They're just so broken that if you could just whip them out and have them out all the time, they would just crush all the content more so than they already have been crushing the content, right? But before we get into the point I'm trying to make with this video, right, let's look at the reveals for part 2 that have happened. So this was like a mini little reveal for the part 2 celebration, right? This is by, you know, Dokkan Battle themselves. I guess this is what people were saying about the celebration, you know, like. So this was like, you know, kind of like a, hey, you know, a soft confirmation that it is GT related, right? And this was posted on the 19th. And then the actual, well, you kind of see it right here. Part 2 celebration live broadcast is coming soon, yada, yada. And then they give you a little YouTube link to go to. And now I don't really do reacts to Dokkan units or anything like that on the channel. I tried doing primarily Dokkan. It didn't really work out for my channel and whatnot. So Dokkan's just kind of like a part of the channel these days. So everything Dokkan related, I'd mostly just do events, not really the news or reveals and stuff like that. Because there would be like 50 other Dokkan tubers that would get to it before I did. You know, unfortunately, I'm a grown adult and with some responsibilities. I can't just drop everything what I'm doing and do these reveals and stuff. Some people, it's at their actual job. So, you know, it is what it is. But we got this.
Neither Goku nor Vegeta. I am the one who will destroy you.
So a nice little reveal trailer, right? And there's a lot in this, right? So some things of contention, right? And with these hype celebrations when it comes to fusion related characters, it's always a question of, can we play as this actual new character, or is this relegated to a damn active skill? So like I said before, part one, the fusions relegated to active skills, right? And so what people were a little confused about, or like, and there was some discussion about, was seeing this part right here. We're seeing Goku and Vegeta actually fuse, and people are just like, oh, is this the active skill treatment again? Right? Because maybe you start as Goku and Vegeta, but then you fuse. I mean, Omega Shenron's kind of whatever. Like Omega Shenron's Omega Shenron, right? But, you know, you do the fusion and then you turn into Gogeta. And this is just like such high quality looking animations that part one, Vegito and Zamasu, I think this is like literally the best quality, or pretty damn close. And like Dokkan original, right? Because that's another thing, is fucking Dragon Fist, which I love Dragon Fist. Dragon Fist is so freaking sweet that it's unfortunate it wasn't like a canon or done in a canon timeline, right? It was pretty much like a movie and GT specific type thing, right? Which is very unfortunate because it's such a gangster ass ability, right? So yeah, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So you see the art. Well, my face is in the way with Gogeta, but here, there we go. This could be, right, in the Vegito and the Zamasu art, there is like a blip, you know, where they have like assets themselves, where it's just like, yeah, Vegito and Zamasu, but they're an active skill, right? Almost like Beast Gohan, or physical beastless Gohan, where it's an active skill, and then you're still as Ultimate Gohan, right? That's where, like, that was like the biggest tragedy, the biggest you know, offense of that is how mad people were, right? Omega Shenron, they didn't really show too much of him. It wasn't sure, because there is like what the LR Carnival Omega Shenron has like an intro to where he is absorbing the Dragon Balls. He's like eating all the Dragon Balls, being Sin Shenron, and then turning into Omega Shenron. So it doesn't look like they're recycling that, right? And by the way, it was kind of known that the celebration was GT for a while, because they did leak in the jukebox feature, right? For doing burst mode, I believe it is, where on your profile you could pick like what OST or something like that after you beat the event or some shit like that, right? You could pick like an OST for your profile, and they added in an Omega Shenron, right? The Dokkan Fest Omega Shenron, and you know it's a Dokkan Fest because that's only Dokkan Fest OSTs that are in there. So it's just like, all right, you know, Dokkan ruined it themselves. It's an Omega Shenron, right? When we get into Omega Shenron, it's going to be a GT related celebration. We'll just have this running again. Kind of crazy, yeah. So you get the fusion, just like could be an active skill, could be an active skill, and this just looks top tier. This looks like a crazy studio actually like took the time, animated this shit, and made it mwah. And what's crazy also is that this is a carnival unit. Carnival units don't get the best animations usually. The part one Rose Zamasu, you can say there's some of it that looks a little like, all right, you know, they kind of cheesed it a little bit, right? But that like nuts. Like this up and close personal shot looks amazing. The Dragon Fist glow in the hand, like hopefully, guys, we only saw a small part of that. Hopefully that the whole motion and everything like that translates and it's smooth AF. Now you might be asking while we're like 10 minutes into this shit, right? LP, what's your point? This is a hype reveal, but you don't really do reveals and stuff like that. So why are you making this video, right? And this looks baller. I'm going balls deep with Gogeta, man. I already got some stones set aside. Hopefully the take part one. Part one treated me so well that I can see. I'm gonna call it right now. I can see. I hope it doesn't come true. Me going all in for Gogeta, and the game's just like, nah, man. Y'all want Gogeta? Nah, get fucked. Like, oh, you do one presentation on Omega or something like that? Yeah, you get him. You get him. But Gogeta, no. So why am I a little upset at this? And there's someone also that I kind of share the same mentality on this with, is like Slaybix, right? So Slaybix, he does Dokkan Battle as well and all that. And he called this, what, like back in July, like early July, like the 5th or some shit, like early on when the part 1 units were revealed, and that the fusions were only active skills. So he's just like, if these motherfuckers are, you know, if are relegated to a 1-turn active, and then Gogeta gets its own standalone unit, he's gonna be a little upset. And it's just like, you know, it is what happened, right? So I'm not upset that we're getting this gangster ass, you know, Gogeta 4, right? Not by any means am I upset about that. What I'm upset about is that, right, so we'll look at the Vegetos. The last standalone Vegito we got, do you know what the last standalone Vegito was, right? This, unfortunately, I don't think you can organize by release date, but I looked at my Dokkan box earlier. It was Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Let's look at when he released. 11/22/23. Do you know what fucking year it is right now? That's crazy. And understandably, it's just like, oh, you can't release these fusions all the time and shit like that. Save them for big celebrations. They're hype. Yeah, like, true. But if you release like a gangster ass standalone Vegito or Gogeta every year, are people really gonna get upset? No. And then we saw it earlier. You know when the last standalone Gogeta was that we got? It was the 9th anniversary. And this was, yeah, well, this is global. JP back then, it was like 6 months before, right? So it's fair to say that Gogeta was a lot more recent than Vegito. And this is a standalone character. That's the main point. Standalone character. And then before that, we'll go for Gogeta 4. Unfortunately, was this motherfucker. I say unfortunately because it's way too far and in between, right? You do have the GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku Vegeta unit from the 7th anniversary. They're just not there when you search up Gogeta. This standalone Gogeta came out in early 2021 on global. So sooner on JP, right? Because JP was around anywhere from like 4 to 6 months ish with those releases, depending on like the shenanigans global does, right? So this guy, long time ago, fair to say, Vegito, specifically Vegito Blue, last standalone Vegito Blue, this guy, from the looks of it, yeah, it's this guy. This guy did super easy aid, which really dope, definitely helps the celebration at this time. This guy, 2018, 2017, I guess, if you look at the JP timeline and shit like that. Regardless, long ass time ago. The thing is that there's such like I love fusions. Fusions are dope. Gogeta, Vegeta, I don't give a fuck, right? Because like me, I like Z Gogeta more than Z Vegito, but then Dragon Ball Super, I like Vegito Blue over Gogeta Blue. It's almost like, I don't know, man. It's almost like I pity the Vegito Blue a little bit more, because Gogeta Blue got a whole ass top tier animated movie, and then Vegito Blue was like about less than 10 minutes in an anime episode, and they fucking retconned the fusion that he's a part of. And just the fit, like, just like, oh, you know, it was whatever bullshit. They had to retcon it. They're like, oh yeah, fusion, by the way, is only an hour. Guess what? You got like 10 minutes of that shit. And it's really, really fucking ass. Because I want both fusions to eat good. You know what I'm saying? And I probably said this right, you know, back in this day, right? But the 7th anniversary LRs, right? The Fusion 4s and then the Gods or Blues, whatever you want to call them. It was bullshit that I thought, you know, these guys released at the same part of the celebration that you could stay as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, play as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and whatnot. You know, you just active skill fused, right? But then with these guys, you go blue, and the blue's active skill was being a active skill Gogeta. You know, Gogeta Blue, which I thought was stupid. Like, why not have them both be the fusion character? It makes sense for the celebration. Why kind of dick them around like that? The blues were performed on a mostly similar level to this Gogeta 4, so wasn't like there was a big like power discrepancy or anything like that. But it was just kind of bullshit that they did them like that, right? And these were the same part celebration characters. So why they treated these guys like, you know, which part 1 units, you know, you see Goku, Vegeta, and then you're gonna see, boom, oh, hey, by the way, guys, Vegeto's here too. Like, oh yeah, bam, the little beam sword shit. Dope. Holy shit. Amazing. I don't know. They show Zamasu descending. Do they show Fusion Zamasu here, or do we have to exchange into the actual Zamasu part of the card to do that? I kind of forget. Yeah, it looks like we do. So we go to Zamasu, right? Because these are tag units. And it's clear that tags aren't a part of the part 2 celebration, right? Because it's standalone Omega and standalone Gogeta 4. Yeah, so Zamasu here on the Zamasu side of the card. And then, you know, you can bring up the 10th anniversary LRs, whatnot. Why is it showing Hachi? What the fuck? You can show this by release date. Damn. Okay. Anyways, the 10th anniversary characters, right? So this guy was a Vegito, and this guy was a Gogeta, right? So from Dragon Ball Z, not Super or anything like that. And you could play as those characters for a couple turns. They were just so goddamn giga broken that they had to time gate them, right? So I'm not mad at the slightest that there's a new standalone Gogeta 4. That is probably the best thing to happen. Because, I mean, GT is very limited. And we already had, like, you know, Goku and Vegeta fusing into Gogeta and whatnot. And so, like, how much more can you do that, you know? It's just like, okay, standalone. Or you have, like, you start off as Super Saiyan 4 Goku, 4 turns elapse, Vegito shows up, like Vegeta transforms, gets the Blutz waves, whatever, becomes, you know, Super Saiyan 4. And then after that, like, you can fuse them together or something like that. Like, so a tag version of the character. That's like the only thing they haven't done yet, and they're probably saving that for later. But there's only so much you can do with that type, you know, with GT. GT is very limited. And speaking of GT, they need to release a GT category, right? Because GT has just been, especially the villain side of it, has just been so ass. Like GT bosses, GT heroes, right? GT bosses has never really been on top. The last, like, real GT bosses character was, like, Carnival Omega. This Hellfighter 17 did come out, too. But I don't think he's even on that he's not a GT bosses category. He's not, because you're you know, the 17s, right? Actually, my freaking bad. That wasn't the right 17. I think... Oh, that's the World Tournament character, isn't it? That's the World Tournament character. I was talking about these guys. These guys, I mean, it still stands. They're not on GT bosses because, you know, they're the 17 and Hellfighter 17. Both of those characters are not on GT bosses. It's only Super 17, right? So if you look back, which I still don't have the Super 17, by the way. It's kind of hilarious. He wasn't anything really special on release. He could do work, but he wasn't that great. GT bosses. So GT bosses has been booty butt cheeks for forever. right? People were thinking maybe they could do like a free-to-play, like kind of like how they did the Rosés, like a Shadow Dragon free-to-play team or something like that. That's, I guess, not out of the cards entirely. Maybe, I don't know. Or like the clone Rosés, right? You know, the Super Saiyan 4 clone Gogetas, right? You know, but yeah, that doesn't seem like it's happening. Also, there is a free-to-play Nova happening, and I think it's his first fight with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so he's going to be a villain, right? So Omega is going to get a little bit of help, which is beautiful because they fucking need it. What else? I don't think anything else for GT bosses has been revealed yet. And this guy could be getting an easy A. He is a GT bosses too. I mean, there's not a whole lot of characters it could be to help him out, right? So I don't think this guy's in line for a super easy A yet. I don't think they would do this Tech Shinshin run. But yeah, you know, it's time that they just incorporated GT as a whole, because I mean, GT was short enough and brief enough to really kind of, you know, I mean, GT bosses, GT heroes. There's not a lot of else you can do with this. So GT in general, right? So that way you can run Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the new Omega possibly on the same team. What the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the new one, leader skill could be, we don't really know. It's probably not Giant Ape power, because this guy has Giant Ape power, and he was from the 10th anniversary. He ain't that old. So if they did, and he's also a carnival unit. So if they did GT Giant Ape power again, that would be awful. Like, that would be so ass. What it could be, nobody really knows. I mean, power beyond Super Saiyan would be pretty dope as a 220%. But it is unclear at this time. And whatever the hell Omega can, because like I said before, this Omega has the intro where he's eating the Dragon Balls and such. So he has transformation boost and powerful comeback as a result of that. So a standalone Omega, kind of like, well, that's Shadow Army too. Damn, it's not even like, we got to go back to the physical one. So the physical Omega Shenron, let's look at his categories. I'm sorry this video's long, but this was a rant. This is why I planned a rant from the get-go. He has 6 categories, and are any of them actually really that insane? I'd say Battle of Fate, definitely. Full power is really good. But the other ones, power absorption would be a little wonky because there's a lot of villains in there too. Like, you know, you probably have Cells, Boos, and all these other characters that they don't link the well with, you know, Omega Shenron too, because you'd have, you know, Shadow Dragon's link would be a little weird. Fear and Faith, a little weird. Brutal Beatdown, a little weird. Some villains have it, some villains don't. Big Bad Boss is really good. If they made a GT category, this link is really good. So, you know, that could kind of help them out a little bit. You run like the new Omega, and, you know, if they decide to EZA something, you know, run them along together, or whatever the banner unit is too. We didn't even talk about the possibility of a banner unit. Probably safe to say it's not Nuova because he's getting a free-to-play LR. What it could be, I don't know, another Shadow Dragon or something like that. Don't know. What was the banner unit in part 1 on the Blue Goku and Vegeta beta? Champa. Not really related besides like Realm of God. So, you know, and villains need all the help they could get because they released way too far and in between. Oh yeah, and also looking at the Zamasus too. This is a tab I skipped. The last fusion Zamasu we got was this guy, and this guy just easy-a'd, right? So sometimes they do that with the celebration where like a headliner character is, you know, X character, right? And then they decide in a later part of the celebration to EZA kind of the same character. It's like you can run them together-ish, but not together on the same rotation really, because they share the same name, which had the same links, and we don't have like a same name feature, right? So these guys, funny enough, are called the same character. But if you look at these two guys, they look a little bit different. This guy is half corrupted, and this guy's, you know, just Fusion Zamasu, which, you know, so you can't even run these guys together, which is a big bummer. But anyway, I digress from that. This guy came out worldwide. So this possibly was the celebration that started all this fusion active skill bullshit, right? Because oh yeah, we'll look at him. Fuse Fighter. Wait, was it Fuse Fighter? I don't know. They're not on Fuse Fighters, are they? No, they're not. Silly me. And you know, you guys might know them. Us Saiyans have no limits. These guys, which you could actually play as this Vegito Blue. It was just that their condition was so, it was very inconsistent to get that, yeah, your chances were really rough. This guy was insane on release, though. Don't get it twisted. This guy was nuts. Dokkan original animations looked fire as all hell, right? But he quickly fell out of favor because of these goofballs, right? These guys just really hard to work with consistently, and yeah, a little bit of oofies on the design part of them, right? And just like, there's the man. He looked insane, was insane. So the celebration we're in now was this celebration where him and the tech fusions of Masu came out. So people are just like, oh my god, like, you know, this guy's a successor, which is the Blue Goku and Vegeta with the active skill Vegito now. Like, oh my god, like this character started it all. Which isn't really true. I don't think so. But I mean, is it not? I don't know. But I think we'll get ready to wrap this up. You know, I'm just an old man ranting about you know, the JPEGs and stuff like that, and a mobile gacha game, right? So all in all, it sucks. It sucks that units, especially in the same celebration, get treated a bit differently. Is it worse? For the hype factor, I think so. So then it's just like, oh boy, guys, we can you're summoning for Blue Goku and Vegeta. It's just like, okay, that's all right. You know, honestly, when was the last good Blue Goku or Blue Vegeta, right? It's been a little while. So it's okay. Or it's just like, all right, guys, we got a Vegito Blue you're summoning for the celebration. People were just like, yeah, fuck yeah, Dokkan W and shit like that. And which I will say though, I don't really play Legends or anything like that, but character, I'm not talking about kits of the character. I think character releases, as far as like hypeness, like Legends knocks it out of the park and can get units a lot faster than Dokkan. Dokkan, you know, it took us how long to get Broly movie units? Like actual good summonable ones, not some free-to-play shitter ones. How long has it taken us to get Daima units, not free-to-play shitter characters? How long has it taken to get superhero movie characters and not like free-to-play shitter ones? Like, I don't know what the fuck the deal Dokkan is. You know, what they have with these releases, licensing, whatever the fuck, I don't know. I'm just a player, right? It's just like, you know, Dokkan has a lot of good things it does, a lot of great things it does, but also you're just like, sometimes you hear some shit and you're just like, what the hell is that? Like, what are they talking about? I feel like I could rant a little bit more, but like I think I got all the major parts. I actually wrote on a WordPad just to get these parts, you know, to try to get the main details. I didn't even look at this thing, so yeah, it looks like I got everything. So I don't want to say one side, like they're showing favoritism from one fusion to another. I don't really care about the fusion debate or whatever. They're almost literally the same character, guys. They're like the same person almost. Just the method of fusing is different. So I just want them all to be dope, and I like the celebrations to almost be symmetrical in a way, right? So part one, we had this coaster. We had Blue Vegito, right? You know, you play as Blue Vegito, man, that's awesome, right? Part two, play as like a Blue Gogeta or Gogeta 4 in this case. It is like, boom, like the characters are both up here, not like Blue Goku and Vegeta. Okay, that's kind of cool. You have an active skill, Vegito. Why is he just an active skill? What the fuck? And then you have Oh, you have standalone Gogeta 4. Nah, it's like way up here. It's off the charts, right? But then you got just blue Goku Vegeta down here. It's just like I don't understand. Like the decisions that are made sometimes is a little bit beyond us mere mortals and whatnot. But anyway, bastards, let me know your thoughts down below. I'm sure the Gogeta 4 could possibly be the best character in the game. I'm not detracting from the character's kits or anything like that. We don't even know the kit yet. I'm just talking about like the units themselves and like why some of the characters are treated differently, you know? But anyway, best, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
But first, hi there. If you liked what you saw, thank you.